Are you Bavlorna?
You should go ahead and wash your mouth out with some of that swamp water there. No, I am not.
Well, who are you?
Question is, who are you, and what are you doing at my house?
Looking for Bavlorna.
Ah. Oh, yeah. Not too far off, but you're in the wrong place. What sort of business do you have with Bavlorna?
I still didn't catch your name. Can you give me your name?
That's because I didn't throw it. Yeah. My apologies. Rule of hospitality. My name is Spirocus Endelgen. And yours? The lot of you?
This Endergren?
Spirocus Endelgen.
And... Okay.
We go by the Floor Gang sometimes. You might have heard of us.
Not in the slightest.
My name is, Pinky.
Oh, Pinky. How about you, large one?
Eli.
Quiet. Noted. The talkative one. What do you go by?
My friends call me Bane.
Welcome, Bane. And he looks over at Kevis. Oh. And you. You're a curious fellow, aren't you? What is yours?
Kind of begrudgingly. Name's Evis.
Candace.
It repeats again. Looks at the centaur. Kevis.
Candace.
Satyr.
I think I'll
A satyr, yeah.
believe the one that came out of his own mouth. Oh. And he just begins to walk, has a bag kind of like slung over one of his shoulders. So, you've come to my house, triggered my alarm system. I assume you touched the door.
Did you touch the door? Oh, you knocked. We knocked! We were trying to be polite.
I have no problems with that. In fact, I apologize for any roughhousing my security may have given you. My
Sorry.
deepest apologies. It is intended to ward off those who would do me harm. Not for... And he kind of looks around a lot of you potential new friends. Serious. I'm serious, by the way. Just so you know. Yeah. My apologies. So, you are here.
Sorry we killed some of your security system.
If things go the way they should, they'll be back. Not a problem. So, set of travelers, clearly not from you, except for maybe 1.5 of you. And, looking for Bavlorna, strong enough to defeat my sentries. A bit of an adventuring party, are you?
Are you friends with her?
And his kind of welcome, jovial, but still a little bit stoic, The smile just fades. No. That frog could croak and crack and die in the sun, and I would be thrilled.
Can I insight check that?
Well, you know.
Yes, Kim?
That's good. Sweetheart, that's with her either.
Oops. Sorry, guys.
12.
Um, 12. All right. He seems kind of angry, like he doesn't like the sound of her. That's about all you get. She's no friend of mine.
Oh, that's something we can agree on. We are actually here. She has some items and kind of motion towards. Is it Bane and Zarius? I remember right? Motion towards them. She has some stuff of ours, as well as we've seen what she's done to this area.
As have I. I was here before it happened. And I will be here after it is set right. Oh. So you intend to stop her, confront her? Make her redeem her evil, wicked ways?
Look around the group. That's the plan.
Well, the plan is to spin counterclockwise, right? Yeah, that's the plan.
That's a
We
terrible
also have
plan.
a plan B. We have plan B.
Look at him. He's like, we've not been very good on plans.
I can see that.
We're more of
Someone
a.
told us that she was allergic to counterclockwise.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's
Thank you.
actually a good
Do
question.
You know anything about withershins?
It's the same thing he said, but
That's what I thought.
What?
I mean, that's what other people thought and told me. But that was the thinking that was done.
kind of just cocks his head and be like, right, got it. Well, perhaps I can be of assistance. Come. You look a bit tired. Join me in my hut. I'll prepare some tea. And he begins to move around to the side and gets over here, waves his hand, and you hear it. And he goes inside the hut. Oops, wrong thing.
Don't touch anything in this dude's house. It's just, don't do it. Don't care what's in there. Pinky. Don't care what's in there. Don't touch it.
What if I ask first?
Yes. Ask first. Yes. Sounds like a great idea, actually.
Kim is just like, okay. We're improving.
Alright. You guys enter in, and the door swings open with a creak. And you walk inside, and immediately what you see is that it's about twice as large internally as it would be externally. There are a few steps that go down, and then it kind of flattens out, and there's a dining table in the center. Up on the left side, there is a bit of a wall, like an 8-foot wall with some rails up on the side, and there's some stairs that lead up to it, and that's the kitchen area. With a kind of a old school stove with runs off of, just logs and wood and fire and coal. There's a pantry up there as well. A little the dining area ends with a small wall, just 2 feet high, very decorative, with an entryway that then goes on to the other side of a bear rug Except it's made out of, like, seems to be stitched together lizards of a large variety. There's a large hearth and fireplace. And over on the other side, on the other upside, the other upward portion is a bedroom. So essentially, you walk in, it goes down, and there's a flat place, and then there's raised sides. One is a kitchen, one is a bedroom, and then there's the living room, kind of on the other side. And kind of off to the side of the living room, there is a closed door. It says, "Take a seat at the table on one of my couches. Make yourself comfortable. I'll be right back." And he proceeds up into the kitchen with his hooves up the stairs.
This is different.
Yeah, people being nice to us. It is different.
And you hear some rummaging around, just him beginning to prepare some things. And he says, "This place was not always so inhospitable. When it was the Prismeer, before the split happened, it was quite nice. Not everybody was friendly, but certainly more so than they are now. I wish to see it return."
Do we know what the split is? This is out of game, by the way.
I think someone just described it to us.
Where the land was cut into 3
Oh,
separate
okay. Yeah.
sections, I think? That seems like the logical answer right there. The most reasonable one.
It does appear he is talking about that same reference.
Ah.
And a few minutes later, he brings down a kettle and a small tray that has 6 different little cups. Very basic. Look like they're crafted out of clay and fire hardened. He gives each one of you them, and you look inside, and there's a bit of moss in the bottom. It's kind of an intensely brownish red moss. He says, "This is some of my favorite tea." And he pours it over, and it does immediately elicit an aroma of kind of vanilla and maybe some sort of like kidney bean or something. Kind of a sweet, musky smell altogether. And he sits down at the end of the table. Says, "So, what are you... Why are you here? Why are you looking for Bavlorna? Why do you care? You're not even from this plane."
I had a book, and she took it.
Ah,
And so I'm here to get it back. And some of the other members of my group are here for similar reasons, but not all associated with this hag in this area. But it starts with Bavlorna.
I can see that. They are known, all of the hags are known very well for their covetousness of others' belongings. And apparently, she took my ability to be quiet and like chill out. So I want to get that back. I think. No, I don't really care, but apparently it's the thing to do. Ah, okay. Ah, so you are some of her victims. What about the rest of you? What have you lost?
Looks at Kevis. Are we?
Evis grabs his
There may-
locket, opens it, looks at it. Without saying a word, just turns it in to show him. Waits a few seconds.
And he studies it for a moment. Hmm.
I lost
That.
the ability to see these people in this picture that you see. I'd imagine you can see it crystal clear. Am I wrong?
My boy. I can see what you see. And it's a shame. When one lives long enough and is in tune with nature and magic, empathy becomes a great deal easier. There's a few avenues that are unlocked. I know it before you said it. You have my condolences and my best wishes to retrieve that.
Kind of confused. Closes the locket, tucks it back in, and sits back. Just trying to understand what is happening.
Yeah, that was confusing.
And how about you? He looks at Pinky.
I lost somebody, but I don't really remember who I lost.
It's like the feeling of knowing you've forgotten something, but you left it at the house. You know something was there, something else to do on your to-do list.
I really hope I didn't leave whatever I lost at the house.
I am simply making an analogy, my dear. But magnified. I imagine immensely. Knowing that something is amiss and not knowing what it is. Oh, I understand.
Do you?
And he kind of looks down at the table into his mossy reddish-brown tea. All too well.
Okay.
What did you lose?
My joy.
That sucks, because joy is a really nice thing.
Look at the chairs that you sit on. Look at the back.
Yeah. Look at the
And-
back.
Yeah, you just look at the back portion that your back is leaning against. You see names carved in.
Is this my name?
No.
Okay.
What
That
are these
was.
names?
They were everything to me.
Hmm.
And Moose, you are sitting on a chair with the name of Broderick.
What does this one say?
You're pointing to a different one.
No, I'm pointing to mine.
Oh,
I can't-
you. Oh.
Bane
Oh.
can't read.
Oh. Broderick. It is my youngest.
Broderick.
You lost your son.
I lost them all.
You lost your entire family.
Too bad, Lorna.
Aye. And the rest of the Hourglass Coven. And you, Eli. What of you?
Nothing that grave. I lost a relic from my temple. Something that's very close to me and the history of not only my people but also my faith.
Grandeur is in the eyes of the beholder. What constitutes a person's hell or their misery or their hopes for the future? One cannot truly be weighed against another. I hope you find your relic.
Thanks. Did they take your family, or are they gone?
They were taken. They were not kidnapped. But nonetheless, they were stolen.
Why?
Because I resisted when the Prismeer became divided. They subdued me, and I was forced to make a bargain in order to escape. I was misinformed of what the price would be. I thought that I could deal with my own lack of joy, that my family would be safe. Turns out the lack of my family's safety was the lack of my joy. When I returned, they were gone.
What are you doing out here?
And he looks at you and says, staying put for the chance that they return to our home. If I have looked and looked and looked for them, and I have never seen them, not since. But I continue to come back here, even though it is this house is now a prison in itself.
Kevis at
Come
this,
with us.
and say Kevis at this point is visibly uncomfortable.
Come with us.
And he looks very sad for a moment. I regrettably shall decline. I do not have the strength of heart to look at that place again, to look at that frog, to see her court of gibbering amphibians. And, I am not strong enough to do so.
Tell us how we can help.
And the sad, his facial features remain sad, but his eyes darken visibly. And a little bit of
mine darken visibly to match, because I dig that. Bane's like, yeah, let's go dark.
Yeah, he kind of
Pinky's just not having this, fam.
Yeah, trickles out like little black veins come away from his eyes on this very sad face, and some of it like touches his beard, and the beard streaks black on top of green. It says, You want to help? You find that hag. You rip off her legs. Put them on a fire. And let them roast. And then you let them burn to a crisp. That is how a treacherous frog should be treated. And let her watch. And then you end the job.
Okay, so what I got was rip off the legs, put them on a fire, then roast to a crisp, but she watches and then end it. Was that it?
Not about some setup.
We're not doing that, right?
And then
guys?
the blackness recedes back to his eye, away from his eyes.
Got it.
This is
Can Pinky stealth out of here?
You can. No. Like, you can leave. You can leave, but you can't go unnoticed.
Pinky's just
You're at the
gonna
table with the guy.
she's gonna get up and leave. It's like
seems rude. Anyway,
fly out here.
this is groundbreaking, guys. This is huge. This is fuck whatever Plan A was, right? This is there's no remorse in the eyes of us for Bavlorna.
Is there anything you wish to know?
Where's she located?
Downfall, not too far from here.
So this is not Downfall. I thought.
No, this is merely my house. You're on the right way though, and keep going. Downfall refers to a village, and a village comprised of bullywugs, the frog people, and they are obsessed with courtly intrigue and behaviors.
No, for us, other than moose, right?
They The town sits around a lake. In the center of the lake, on stilts, is a very ramshackle, unstable hut. That is where Bavlorna lives. And he's saying all this with like a detached sense of factualism. There's no ability for him to like remember or like think about it. He's just delivering like straight facts, and you can tell that he's doing that very much so on purpose. You'll find her there. She'll be accompanied by her loinlings, little miniature, vile versions of herself.
I'm sorry about your family. I don't know if we'll be able to find them, but Bavlorna isn't the right ruler from this area.
Certainly not. Zabilna was difficult to deal with from time to time. She had a good heart. She understood the needs of her people, and she protected them. I can say none of the same for the hags. So, it kind of changes the subject for a moment. How have you been enjoying your stay here in Hither? I expect it has not been kind.
We got to meet a nice goblin lady. That's about the best it's been. She was on a nice hill that we got to sleep on, and that was nice. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty bad.
Oh, you refer to Sweet Jingle Jingle. Ah, now the keys you wear make sense.
And I jump.
How is young Jingle?
You should pay her a visit sometime. She could use company.
I could use company myself. I am elated to have you here.
I don't think she can come here because the hill can't come here.
No, but I could go to her. It is simple to find.
Oh, really? How do you find the hill?
Oh, well, when one lives here for long enough, you can predict the ebbs and flows that the terrain exhibits.
I don't want to live here that long, I don't think.
I'm not sure if you would live that long at all. I am very old.
I was going to say something, but it felt rude.
Well, next time be rude.
They've been telling me not to be, but you're saying it's okay.
Moose, I think this is a special case.
Yeah, you look really old.
Indeed, I am.
How long have you been here?
In the Fae? In the Prismeer, as it was before it became Hither.
Both.
Oh, and times like this, it was, before it became this. I've been here for hundreds of years. I was a member of Zabilna's court. An advisor. And, this place, Hither, this is only It is a short amount of time, especially in comparison. However, it is a most painful amount of time. About 12 years ago. Oh, correction. 11. Yes, 11. It have been long years since I've seen their faces. Since I've seen them smile and make me jump out of the way as they run by.
Entire time Kevis is talking, he's not looking at him. He's like fidgeting with his sword, kind of looking down and talking. Very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything I can do for you? Anything you would like to know? Anything, any knowledge that you seek about this place that might aid you?
Yeah, how do we predict the up and down of the water?
Oh, that's pretty simple. Between about 7 to 8 hours, it starts to change. It's on a pretty regular cycle. You guys have been keeping irregular sleeping schedules. So that's why you haven't noticed it so far. So if Locke was here with his keen mind, he would have been able to tell you that.
I'm gonna go check on our pixie friend real quick.
Careful. She's a fairy. I hear they're very temperamental about being cold, pixies.
Oh, is that what she is? I say as I walk out the door.
So, do you have a plan?
Well, like I said, up until this point, we were talking about spinning counterclockwise. So, the answer is at this point is no. We don't have a plan.
Well, if she wishes it, the Bullywugs would likely come to her aid. And if that is the case, she will have a veritable army. You will be vastly outnumbered. But if you are clever, perhaps you can beat her at her own game. If you do that, if you manage to do that, you may be able to isolate her and defeat her without alerting those around her. Be cautious. Anything that she says is a mutation of the word.
So it's not worth even talking to her?
Oh, it's likely the only way you'll have a chance to do anything about her. Just be aware that anything she says is not what she means. She will honor a deal, but the deal will always be in her favor. It will always. And he gestures to the chairs that have the name of his family on them. The price is always something that you don't expect. However, you may, if you are looking for these things that she's stolen from you, there's a good chance that she has them hidden away. I mean, if you outright kill her without figuring out where those are, they are likely lost forever. So if you can manage it, quell your rage when you see her. Her knowledge is unfortunately valuable, which is why she's such a threat. Why others are so able to, or willing to, deal with her. Even though they know the reputation of hags. Assume you are being tricked. Alright. Moose, you go outside. Shut the door. Go looking for Pinky. It's not hard to find her. Bright pink against a swampy dark green background. She stands out.
Hey, Pinky, you doing good?
I think so.
How come you left the room? Did you have to fart?
No. Those names carved in the chair kind of reminded me of the name that's carved into my flute.
We're gonna get them back. We're gonna get our stuff back.
I hope so.
I know so. I always get what I want.
You always do?
I mean, I always have.
I'm a little jealous of you. Always. You know, even in the worst of situations, you always seem to see the best of everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty awesome.
Yeah, you are. You are pretty awesome.
You're pretty cool too, though, Pinky. We just have to, like, go kill some frogs and stuff. That seems pretty easy.
I've seen enough frogs in my life.
Yeah, you've seen them, like, from both the outside and the inside.
Yeah. I just hope these ones, you know, aren't really big. But I think they are.
I imagine that, like... first of all, you're not a pixie, right? You're a fairy.
I'm a fairy, yeah.
Yeah.
Pixies are a lot smaller than fairies.
Smaller than fairies?
Yeah. They're like
How do you not...
tiny.
Do people sit on them a lot?
No, they're pretty nimble. We've been to the carnival.
Oh, yeah!
There were a bunch of pixies there.
Oh, those were pixies. Oh, yeah, you're not that small.
Yeah.
I wonder if they all will remember my name is Jellybean.
Probably.
You want to go back inside? This guy's really nice.
Kind of.
I mean, despite his joylessness.
Yeah. What did you guys like find any information out or?
Yeah, he said a bunch of stuff. I don't remember any of it, but
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can go back inside. You probably would have
As
also
you guys finish up your...
that there was some blue sparkles coming down from those wings.
I pass gas as I come back inside.
Well, I did tell him to be rude. I'll allow it.
You're welcome. And I nod my head. Okay, so we're gonna go get some more frog legs.
Getting those frog legs?
Yep. We're gonna go get Bavlorna. Legs, fire, crisp, burn, watch, kill.
Okay.
I have one other question. So how do we get from hither to any other place here in what in what used to be the Prismeer? I don't know.
Alas, I do not know that. There are those who do. He thinks about it for a second. No, this place has been hither for 11 years. It was the Prismeer long, long before that.
How would we get to like thither?
Thither is the next trail.
Yeah.
I have not been.
How would we get to thither? Do you have any idea?
Yeah. No, I do not.
Okay.
However, I believe this place wants to return to what it was. Perhaps it would be willing to aid you. Follow me.
Okay.
And he gets up and he goes out to the pond out here. He says, come. Observe. And he begins to move his hands. And there's a blue trickle of magical energies that are following behind him. He reaches his hands down into the water, and the water ripples out. And it becomes, it's no longer swampy water in the near vicinity. It is clear, crystal. You can see all the little, like, bugs and tiny fish and plants in the bottom. Come take a look.
I want to make a side note.
You may find something that you're looking for.
Before Kevis walked out, before all that happened, he'd walk by one of the chairs, just kind of look at it, rub his hand across the letters, and then follow out.
Okay. Your hands brush against the letters for the name Ariel.
What was the name on the back of the chairs?
Say that again?
The one Pinky was looking at. What was the name on the back of Pinky's chair?
Colbert.
Before she, like... Colbert.
Mm-hmm. And, so he comes out and beckons to the water. Please, take a look. Who's going first?
What are we looking at? Water? Swamp
Yeah,
water?
he's cleared out essentially this portion of the swamp water. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can't edit this thing.
In like a cone? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let me see if I can do this better with a light source.
I mean,
Like he's being like Noah and like parting the waters?
more like I think cleaning it per se.
Like that ish or something? Too big.
Yeah.
If no one else stepped
Oh,
up,
there we
Kevis
go.
would step up right next to the edge. It's next to him.
Okay, just a moment. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's approximately like that.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm flying, so.
Okay. Who's up first?
What do you want us to do with this? Just
Just look.
touch it?
Just observe.
Okay, I guess we're watching. I'm watching.
Kevis steps up next to him.
Okay, Pinky. You reach down, and he says, touch it lightly with your hand.
All right, I'll land on the ground and dip a finger in.
Okay, roll a d8 for me.
That is an 8.
Okay. You see a bridge, not like the tollway that you were just on, but you see a watery, like a wooden bridge going across some swamp water. Much better condition than the Birkins kept theirs. It's like it's like you're walking across the bridge, but on the left there are several spears stood up into the water. And on top of them are severed frog heads. Many of them. The ones closest to the beginning of the bridge look the oldest, and there's several that look newer, but they seem to be in a very consistent gradient of age. And they're jabbering at each other. The heads are like turning slightly on their spikes and bickering to one side and then going to the other, and like it's like very similar feel to like the gossiping women at a hair salon.
What? Can anyone else see this?
Everybody else looks at the water. You see nothing. Kevis, go ahead and roll a d8. If it comes up as an 8, you roll it again.
Okay. 7.
You see 2 long and blue and purple fish people swimming through a river, side by side, looking around. Roll a nature check for me.
6.
Okay. You don't know what these are. Who's up next?
I think this water's drugged.
Moose, hearing that, would stick his hand in.
Moose, roll a d6 for me.
Also, I want to point out the fact Kevis is hesitant on it because last time he touched water, he got drugged down.
1.
Okay. See a small scarecrow sitting behind some sort of building, and it's stuffing. A little bit of like dried swamp grass is like sticking out here and there. And it doesn't have a head. It's got a little stick. It has large metal claws for hands. They're clearly made out of metal, but they are shaped to be like crab claws. And starts putting on taking objects around it and putting it on top of its head. And one of them is a upside down bucket. And it kind of moves and it jostles side to side and it kind of shakes and it takes it off. It picks up a weathered head of cabbage with a few ears or a few of the leaves like falling off. It sticks that on, looks around. Like kind of like smacks one of the leaves with its claw. And takes it off and throws it. Grabs a large gourd. And shoves it on. Kind of looks around. Stands up. And begins to wander off.
This is some good shit, man.
Zarius will come over. Ooh, I want to try. And he'll dip in, and I'll have him roll. For a 4. Zarius sees a very tall and thin figure with white, almost skin, darkness all over the place. Like their skin's almost a light blue, but the rest of them, their clothing, their eyes, their mouth, everything is black. Climbs a very long staircase going up and up and up. Up to a house on stilts. And as they kind of take a right angled turn and begin going up, she puts her hand on like one of the stilts, and her shadow detaches and rushes up the stilt and climbs in a window. Eli, do you want to look in the water?
Eli is very skeptical as to what's going on. Unless I'll even say, I'm not coming towards the water unless one of you, you guys start stepping away from it.
Oh, yeah, sure. My vision's already done. It was cool. He backs up.
I don't want all
I
of
think
us
I'm definitely not gonna ever consume this swamp water, seeing as this has happened by touching it.
feel better now that we're not all just standing right by the water, so we get shoved into it. I'll take a look.
You see Zarius like start to twitch, like those, not Eli, but those behind you. Be like, he said shove. I kind of want to.
I don't want to push him. Oh.
Eli, go ahead and roll a d6 for me. Ignore a 4. Okay. You see this short, little, angry-looking grandmother type, bent over, has like a little bit of like facial hair to her. Just mad as can be, with a red hat on, a curved, wicked-looking, sharpened metal sickle, and like iron boots. She's sitting in a kitchen, just butchering some sort of meat in this nasty kitchen.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was fun, guys.
Borkus?
Wasn't that scarecrow weird?
I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Roll an insight check on the scarecrow, based on what you were seeing.
I think he was. Were you asking us if we thought the scarecrow was weird?
11.
Oh,
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got,
Never mind.
Yeah. So I didn't see a scarecrow. Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, can I just say what the fuck was that?
Yeah, it was like a scarecrow that like had metal like crab hands, maybe lobster, some kind of shellfish.
Definitely did not see a scarecrow.
Morgan, does Kevis? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So does Kevis recognize the, not like familiar with the creature, but just recognize ever seeing a creature like that in his life?
Not that sort of creature. Like, the idea of, like, fish people is not foreign to you.
Right.
But these guys look kind of meaner, angrier than things you've seen. Like, especially when you compare them to things like mermaids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've made out anything those frog heads were saying.
Not really. It's kind of like trying to listen to a crowd and like they're all mixed together.
Because
And they didn't have good communication skills. They were talking all over each other, like very much so. Like, no, I'm the most important one. I need to be talking right now.
Because I can interpret what somebody is saying by reading its lips.
Sure.
Based on my...
Roll up. So it's a little bit different because frogs don't have lips.
They don't have very good lips.
No, so because of that, go ahead and roll an intelligence check to see if you can kind of like adapt that skill to this situation.
It's like lip reading a Muppet.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because it goes up and down. It's a 12. I don't think I get much.
The most you get is King Bullock. King Bullock is a twat.
Bullock is a twat. What a juicy piece of gossip! Oh my gosh, I love it.
So, asparagus. What did you just show us here? I don't understand what the point of this was.
And he leans over to Kevis. Why is he addressing a vegetable?
He's got trouble with names. Just go with it.
Is that supposed to be me?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Just pats him on the back.
All right, Potato Head. What I showed you was what the Waters wanted to show you from Downfall. Each one of those visions was something that is happening right now in that
What?
location.
What? You're telling me there's a bridge with a bunch of skewered frogs on it?
What did you see?
What?
I saw some weird fever dream stuff. Like the sort of stuff that, like, if you took a bunch of shrooms, like, that's definitely what you'd be seeing.
That's kind of what I was thinking we were seeing. But you saw, like, severed frog heads?
Yeah,
Whoa. Bad trip, man.
it was. It was a really bad trip. Like, why? What did you see something better than I did?
Well, I saw a scarecrow with metal crab hand things. And no head.
Oh,
A better trip than mine.
that sounds like Clapperclaw.
Who?
Clapperclaw.
So he claps with those?
Occasionally, I've heard. Clapperclaw may be... It's small and shy, but he has an innate sense of direction. He's a very apt guide.
Okay. What did everyone else see? If this is the weird results that
I saw like
gotten.
I saw like a scary witch lady, and then like she was climbing some stairs, and then she touched this beam, and her shadow like totally like went up the beam and like whoosh went into a window. Yeah.
What?
So like she and her shadow went up? No, you
Nah, dog. They were separate.
just her shadow?
Just a shadow. It was weird. Seeing somebody walk without a shadow, like there's no darkness under her feet, it was like, whoa, that was crazy. Yeah, I don't know how she did it. I wish I could do that. That sounds cool. I don't know. Maybe
Bane
that's
starts trying to like turn around his shadow faster than the shadow.
It's like a dog chasing its tail.
Pretty much.
Saw some angry fish people. Pretty much it.
Angry fish people?
Yep.
Like at the carnival.
Morgan, were they like the size of like a mermaid or like a siren or something? Like that
bigger.
long? Okay. So yeah, they were a little bigger than a mermaid. There were two of them.
Bigger than Palasha?
Yeah.
Like a manatee maid.
A what?
That's so great. What? Hold on a second.
Go search the internet. It's got to exist.
Google.
I want to see it. I want to see it. This picture.
Manatee maid.
What did you say?
A manatee maid? I was just trying to think of like a fish thing bigger than
A
a
mermaid.
mermaid
Picture. I do
fish
have a picture.
person.
A manatee maid?
Anyway, when Kevis explains that, he looks over. Stuff. How do I say his name? Jim.
Asparagus.
Sorry, I'm not calling him asparagus.
Orcus.
Are those?
Orcus.
Do those sound familiar to you?
Please hold. I have to look at a manatee maid. Oh my gosh.
I don't even want to know what you're finding there. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Yeah,
It
go
sounds like
ahead.
a weird
Please
corner of the
and thank-
internet.
Please and thank you. Put that in the group chat.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
Please send it. Please send it.
Okay. Yeah. I had to get it approved first. Through management.
Beautiful.
What is that?
The kind of like flabby body and the nipples underwater. That's the best.
Oh shit.
Oh jeez.
Well done, Troy. You done did it.
You broke it. Eli, or not Eli, Kevis. That's what you saw.
What the fuck?
That's what you saw.
So I explain that to best detail to everybody, and then ask,
Oh, how do you explain those details? Let's give it a shot.
"Oh boy, here we go." Okay. So I just used Palasha as an example. But very, very long claws and teeth that look kind of like orcs. They protrude out the mouth and tons of fins all over. And then it seems like it's got like tentacles off its face, and it just looks like it would eat. And looks over at like Eli and Pinky. It would probably eat you. It's probably something we definitely don't want to run into. especially with the last encounter, especially with me and Eli dealing with the snake person. This is why water's not fun. Was it actually holding the trident, or was it just empty-handed?
It seemed empty-handed. It had like maybe a little bit of gear on its back.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it has some kind of scale-ish armor made of shells, kind of. But a very, I guess, demonic mermaid is the best way to explain it.
Demonic mermaid.
Yes.
A merman?
I love that just the gender change is worth calling it demonic.
Sure.
It looks kind of like a fighting fish. Like those like Siamese fighting fish, I think it is. That like you can't put like two of them together, or like if you hold up a mirror, they like freak out.
Mm-hmm. They're super racist against their own species.
They're not about it. Yeah,
Wouldn't
they
pull it past them.
I asked Indulgem? Is that? Am I saying that right? Or however you say it. I asked him if that sounds familiar.
Endulgem.
Indulgem.
Isn't that his last name?
Yeah.
His first name is Asparagus.
That is,
Kius. Spirocus? Sprocus?
Spirocus? Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's Sprocus.
yes, Spirocus is my name.
What?
Rolls right off the tongue.
That's what my father thought. If you had asked me 15 years ago, I was likely to be able to name anything in the Prismeer. There is so much that is new, and it is rarely good.
Love that.
Have you ever heard of a King Bullope?
King Bullope.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but I imagine that is the latest monarch.
Here?
No, in the monarch of the Sake court. The regime changes rapidly.
Good to know.
We had a monarch with us, but he stayed to make the rain.
We did?
Yeah, he was crowned monarch in the carnival.
Oh, the Witchlight Carnival, you say?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is, one of the few things that connects hither to its previous state. The carnival has been around since long before Zabilna was trapped and the Coven took over. There is respect and power for those who are able to do well at the carnival.
Pinky used to work there.
Pinky technically does work there. She's just on sabbatical or something.
She may not have punched out.
I'm still on the clock for this.
Well, from what I understand, you are now fired.
That's right.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Witch does not allow his employees to go on for more than 24 hours, for what I understand.
Mm.
So
But you know, I think I could potentially be an exception if I get this shit fixed up. So
I feel like me and
You
Eli
know?
would just be
Potentially.
staring, laughing at Pinky.
Pinky's just like, I don't want to lose my job.
Is there anything else we need to know or that would help us?
Kind of pauses and thinks.
This was already helpful. I
You're
guess.
very welcome.
I think.
There's one last thing, just to expand your understanding of the Prismeer, as I will continue to prefer calling it. This place has a long history. This is the most current event, certainly. But there are other things that are important and at play that have happened here. There's a nearby lake, or the remains of a lake where a great battle was once fought. I would recommend seeing it. Could perhaps show you some things that may become of value someday.
Could you... Do you know where this lake is?
Ah, certainly. And he points kind of to the southern side from where you're at. He says, just through that crop of trees on the other side.
What's the name of the lake?
It never had a name. But it was the site of a battle.
Okay.
My daughters and sons used to enjoy going there. They would marvel at the history that had passed. Ask me questions that I did not know the answers to, and I would have to make something up to make them smile.
Tevis walks away after he says that.
What?
He says, "Good day to you all."
Can't
Here. And he takes a little pouch from his side and hands it to Eli and says, "Yeah, this is some more of that tea." And as you guys sipped it, the tea was, if anybody sipped it, the tea was delicious. Very earthy with a sweet, central line of flavor. So Eli, you can put in your inventory a bag of asparagus tea.
Yes.
Moose reaches into his backpack and pulls out something and looks over at the satyr and says, I know this can't replace your joy, but you might still not enjoy this." And I give him the shell that giggles so that he can listen to the laughter.
And he picks it up and he's kind of confused, and after a moment he takes it and lifts it up to his ear, and he immediately begins to cry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
It's
Okay.
all right. It just... The sound of laughter has been a phantom memory that I've created from long past. Like a good friend that you haven't seen in so long you've forgotten their face. But you know of them, you know the feeling. These are not the laughs and giggles of my children. But they've at least restored a portion of the memory, and I think I can hear mine a little better now. Thank you.
Thank you. And I turn to go.
Kevis, you okay?
Davis doesn't say anything. He just holds his locket and walks to the tree.
Yeah. And as you guys all leave, you see Endel Jim just walk over and sit on this, lean against this pile of wood here. And just puts his one hand on his head and just has the shell up to the other side, just repeatedly listening to it. And he pulls it down. He says, "Oh, oh, by the way, in exchange for the shell, I think this is the closest to joy I've been in quite some time. So, thank you. That is a mighty offering. Perhaps the best I have in exchange is my canoe, my boat." And he gestures down to the bottom of the lake, or the bottom of his island. "Please take it. It will allow you to make quick pace throughout the land here. And if you trace the sigil on the stern, it will shrink.
What?
It becomes travel size."
What?
I hope that is enough.
I want to go up and like somebody would come up and put their hand on someone's shoulder. I can't do that, so I'm just gonna like grab his knee, just and just be like, "Thank you. That means a lot to us."
You're welcome.
I'm gonna hold his knee for a little bit too long.
Oh my goodness.
And he just smiles, slightly amused.
A
What's he
guy
doing?
with no social skills.
And yeah, no, I'm gonna go check out the fucking canoe. That seems awesome.
To the lake? And then to Babylorna?
Yes. The soggy court? Is that?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay. You guys all get into the...
I think the flyers would keep flying. I think it's ground crew in the canoe.
Can before we do this, hold on. Time. I really
Yeah.
I want to see how this works. And Eli will do what he says and trace this rune. I want to find the rune and then trace it with my fingers and see what happens.
Yeah. It's right about there. So it's on there is kind of the carving is right here on this little like wooden plank that like is the tip of the canoe. And it's got kind of a wavy curve to it, kind of down, and then it scoops up. And then there's like 3 dots to it. It's kind of like a noodle laid on a plate with like 3 spots of sauce. It's kind of like easy way to equate it. You trace it, and as you do, it kind of glows like a bluish green. And then dot, dot, dot. And The whole canoe becomes a tiny object, about 3 inches by 2 inches.
Cool. Want to pick it up and just like fuck with it, and then try to figure out how to open it back up, because that's what I really did this for.
As you're like looking at and turning it around and stuff, you see the same symbol on the bottom side of the canoe.
Ooh. Yeah, no. So I'd be like, Candace, you try, and I throw it at him.
Roll a dexterity saving throw. Natural one, and the canoe breaks.
Oh, please,
12.
no.
You're fine.
Kevis just looks up, catches it, kind of does what Eli does till he finds it on the bottom.
Yeah. You're able to kind of trace it and touch it, and it starts to grow in your hand. It becomes heavier and heavier. And you can set it down in the water and kind of splashes up a little bit of water onto the side of it, the plants and the...
When it grows, is it slow and it's not just instant? It's slowly...
It takes about an action or
Okay.
two
Alright.
to grow in size. So about 10 seconds or so, and it becomes its full length.
This is much better than the raft. But Moose, you have gotten us 2 water flotation devices. You're a god of negotiation.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a god. It's still up for debate, but
All right, let's go.
This is pretty cool.
It is cool. It's very cool.
you're on a boat.
All right. So you guys traverse on the boat. I'm gonna have to figure out how to like make the boat an object that can move. So with that not happening at the moment,
I
do
get
you
a
guys want to
character.
talk? Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about anything on your way over there? As you're in the boat, it's a pretty smooth ride. Seems to glide through very well.
Candace, do you have a problem with other people's families? Does it upset you that like other people have families?
Is silent for a bit. Not. I get. Yes, everyone has a family. I also had a family. It was taken from me. And he grabs the locket. Actually taken from me at a very young age. So hearing his story of his family, especially his children taken, kind of hit a few sore spots. Yeah, that's why really the only family I have now is Oberon. He just kind of gets quiet again.
And you don't know what your dad looked like at all, right?
I did, actually. I have the memories, actually. But when I look at them, I can't make out their details. I can't make out my mother, who taught me just my skills. I remember the memories of traveling with my family to the lake or practicing my sword skills, and you can tell he starts to get choked up as he talks. Practicing my sword skills with my father, but when I think about those, I can see everything clearly but them.
Wait a minute, did you just say you'd go to a lake with him?
Kind of chuckles. Yeah. And you can tell he's like recalling it. When I was a kid, to practice what my mother called survival skills, we would actually just, while father went hunting, we would go out and go to the nearby lake. And she would teach me the land and how to live off the land and how to respect the animals and not just hunt them for game. And it was peaceful. We can get away from city life for the most parts, even though we live kind of outside the city. It was our little place. And it gets quiet again.
And that definitely wasn't your dad, right?
Kind of chuckles. No, Moose.
Okay, well, you both had horns and stuff, and you both lost your family, and they both went to a lake.
Right. Yeah. I would actually pretty shocked if that was my father, because
Oh shit.
last time I saw both of them was on the floor of our cabin after
Whoa.
they were murdered
What?
in front of me.
It wasn't
Yes.
a goblin that did it, what? Just to be clear.
No, Morgan, did we ever talk about the size of the figure? I don't think we did.
Yeah, it's normal human
Okay.
size. It's actually like large. Not you know, on the very much so upper end of what a humanoid figure
Okay.
would look like. Very bulky, strong, dark shape.
No, actually, it was quite large. In fact,
So it was a goblin.
no, wasn't a
No,
goblin.
actual large.
Like larger than a normal human. Maybe Moose's size per se, but I didn't. It was dark and he was cloaked and and you can tell he's trying not to recall it because it's pretty painful.
So, but that's how you lost your family?
Yeah. I used to wander the woods a lot. Get tired of the just lessons that father and mother would teach, and I'd go wandering and a little too late coming back, and it was storming, so I'd make it back home, and it wasn't abnormal for the lights to be out in the cabin, but the door was open, and it was a little weird. So I stepped in. Nothing. And then I heard a scream. And I looked. And my mother's face is down on the cabin floor. And a figure standing behind my father. And as I watch my father die, as a young elven should never have to experience, I ran. And ran. And ran. And then I found a tree and hid from this figure for I have no clue how long. Felt like days. And that's when Oberon found me. That's kind of how I met him. And that's really the only family I have left. I can't even remember the faces of my mother and father, but I remember that event. He just kind of closes himself off a little bit. It gets really quiet. Just death grip on one hand on the amulet, one hand on one of his swords on his side. The point, like, you notice on his hand that he's grabbing the sword, his knuckles begin to kind of turn white because of the pressure of how hard he's squeezing the sword. So that's kind of why I don't trust people a whole lot.
Sorry.
Kind of nods at Moose.
Eli, how are we going to take this Bavlorna down?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I don't think we're going to take her down. I don't think that's a thing.
Or we're going to negotiate with her?
Possibly. We're gonna have to find a way to. I don't know. We're not gonna be able to take on her. She's well protected. We're not gonna be able to take on an army of bullywogs, you know?
Are we even strong enough to take her down as we are currently?
I don't think so.
Because I don't think so either.
I'm pretty strong. I don't know if you saw, but I've been carrying a raft around recently too. I've been lifting weights.
You have? But sometimes physical strength isn't the greatest reflection of your actual strength. You are pretty strong though in a lot of aspects.
This enemy, as far as we know, is going to be magical in nature, Moose. I don't know if pure strength is going to be enough to deal with her. We're most likely, unless we are in a I would say one-on-one, what is it, 5-on-1 situation? I don't think we have much of a chance.
I did hear that King Bullywog is a twat.
What? I thought, really? I'll have to remember that.
I don't know, blob? Thing. I guess I didn't hear it, I kind of interpreted it. I could be wrong, he could be maybe a wonderful person and...
King Bullywog could be hot?
Could be hot, could be a thought, could be a lot of things. Never know.
On the hunt for thoughts. Side quest.
Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take a break. Okay, so you guys continue to go down south towards this lake that was spoken about. And you do so and you navigate your way through the trees, getting closer and closer. And you eventually do see an opening that begins to spread out before you. And sorry, just a sec. It is like a little bit of a depression into the land. It's almost like a rise up, so almost like a small crater, where there's a little bit of land making a lip, and then there's water inside. And you come and park the boat on the side and look kind of at the lip, and you can see into the lake, and there's spots of land and water, little dips and raises in front of you. And you all look out and you see... Oh, my music again. And you begin to see there are very ancient, littered remnants of a battle here. Skeletons, armor, swords, other accoutrements, just different portions of scars on the land that even though it's probably been hundreds of years, you can still see the outlines of lightning bolts dug through the land in kind of a glassed matter with a little bit of water pooling in the bottom. And there are some portions of this that are very large, like a very large sword, a very large skeleton, then some normal humanoid type shapes and things along those lines. And as you look out across this battlefield, what would you like to do?
I get the feeling that we shouldn't touch anything.
I was thinking we should definitely search this area for stuff. I mean, it looks like a battle
This
was
is
here.
in normal circumstances, like I'm like, yeah, let's go loot the bodies, but these bodies have been here for a while, and I don't think for once in my life, I don't think it's a very good idea.
Can I just say that I love that I put the fear of stealing into a rogue?
Yeah.
This is like the ultimate GM win. Alright, what are you guys doing?
He told us that coming here would give us information that would be valuable to us later on, right? Or am I
He did
just...
say that we might learn something here. Or
Okay.
something, yeah.
Maybe we just hello?
I picture
Right.
Pinky saying that just so cautiously.
Hello? Is anybody here besides us?
Are you staying where you're at?
Oh yeah, I'm not. I'm not moving. You put the fear of God in this poor little fairy.
You call out and nothing happens.
I don't think anyone's home.
Candace, you see the bigger skeletons?
Yep.
Do you know what those are?
DM, do I know what those are?
Pinky and Kevis roll history checks.
Oh boy.
Oh wow!
Wow. Okay.
Okay, 17 and 18. You know that there are certain versions of giant species that do not get along well with the Fae. And that's about it.
So Oberon kind of taught me there's some giants don't get along very well with the Fae. Pretty aggressive.
That definitely kind of matches up with stories that I've heard.
So, Moose, you don't like the Fae?
Bigger than Moose.
What? You're the one that's talking about how you're so big all the time. What is it? You have a problem with the Fae? Is that why you're always giving Kevis crap?
I'm big, but I'm not a giant. I know I'm smaller than Moose, but, you know.
I'm pretty big.
Alright, just checking.
I'm big.
Just making sure
I'm
you're
big.
honest.
I'm big. I just have a misconception of
I think he's just
a lot of things.
His scale comparison is very far off from everyone else's.
Do you see how big my chainmail is? I jump and flap my keys.
Shakes the boat. Can you not?
As you do, you jump up and you hear it kind of ripple out across the way. Kind of feels like it echoes too many times.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah, let's
You guys want to go?
Let's not do that
Go into
again.
the creepy place? You want to go into the creepy place? Let's go into the creepy place. I want to go see how they killed these giants. I'm curious.
Kevin just points at this giant sword. My guess is that.
Okay, but what made the giant? Who was wielding the giant sword?
I'm guessing the
A
big
bigger
guys.
giant?
There's got to be a reason he told us to come here to find what we need.
I say we investigate. Let's go see what the fuck is happening. We can't just sit
Maybe-
over here and just
Very
hope
carefully.
something happens.
Very carefully. Very eyes peeled for. Actually, is there anything moving around this area that I see?
So first of all, what's your marching order as you're going into this?
Exactly what it looks like. Moose is
Okay,
Yeah, I
just
guess.
like that. Okay. So, Pinky sitting on Moose's shoulder, and then Eli. So right about there.
I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know. Can we get out of the boat? Can we I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what are we doing.
So the boat,
Sorry.
I'm gonna say is kind of like on the other side because there's like a lip of earth, and then you guys had to like walk into this.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No. So I'm not gonna be in the water here. I'm definitely gonna
Oh,
be like.
And you guys can shrink the boat and like shove it in your pocket.
Yeah, take the boat with us.
I would imagine that's probably what we do.
Who's gonna carry that?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good.
Kevin's just gonna walk over and trace the symbol and grab the boat.
So, that seems like the most logical decision to leave the responsible one with the boat, right? The one who's not going to leave everyone else behind?
He did leave us in the middle of the night once.
I didn't. Kevin just traces and grabs the boat and puts it away.
This is the second time that we're leaving the guy who. I mean, look. The last time we left him in charge of a boat, he lost it.
Kevis, are you gonna?
The boat
you
will
gonna-
be in my bag, and the bag is always on me.
And you're gonna stay with the group at night, right?
Yep. I learned my lesson. Yep.
Did you?
Pinky, you want to talk about the frogs or the snakes?
I want to talk about the frog or the
Yep.
snake things.
I think we all have lessons to learn here.
I'm working on it, okay? Is there
So,
any movement?
And as
there?
you guys come up and you kind of approach like this first section, essentially Eli and Moose. What is your body posture like?
Always swagger.
Yeah.
What?
Moose has got like a hand on his hip, he's just kind of like talking with his hand. And
Always.
and Eli, how about you?
I'm kind of. I don't know, I'm relaxed at this point. Not
Relaxed?
I'm not on edge here. No, this isn't crazy for me to see.
Yeah. And so just kind of like arms down and staring at everybody. As you guys kind of begin to walk up a little bit more, you hear rustling. And you see a couple of pieces of the armor that are out here. Just kind of stand up. And they're of very elegant design. Very swoopy with fine points, a little bit of a gold and yellow filigree to one of them, a little bit of red and auburn on another. And the goldish one has like an owl design for the helmet. The other one has more of a phoenix. And these two armors pop up. And
Hello.
Yeah.
and one of them is like, and the other one's just sitting there.
Maybe Moose, maybe wave to it?
See, I want to raise my arm. Ah, this is cool.
Greetings. Is it mimicking me? And I like start to do the YMCA. Nice. It does what you do, or what I do.
Hey, Moose. You want to fight with the body armor, like pretend fight, but then the body armors will be fighting each other?
I like it. Shadow box.
Yeah, like shadow boxing. Yeah.
And yeah, so I'll like fake fight with Eli and try to like use the correct distance to punch the other thing.
All right, Eli, you have to like kind of. Yours is a little further away, so you have to like kind of like force it to like march and like take some steps and stuff, and eventually it does get over. Both of you make performance checks for me, please.
Oh, this is great.
Just gonna sit and watch them, like. Kevis.
Booyah! That's a second 20 on the performance check.
Oh my
Let's go.
god!
Oh,
Nice.
Eli has practice at pantomiming from the carnival.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did.
It's totally coming into play here. And like the two of you like doing wide swings and like kicks and like faking like you have a sword, and like Eli is like full into it. When Moose like throws a punch and it like kind of like comes close to the head, Eli like throws his head back in his arms and then like falls on the ground, gets back up, like runs and like tackles the other one in the middle, and they fall in the mud, and then they just like start like continue fighting. It's actually a pretty good show. The rest of you are pretty thoroughly entertained as this is going on. And Zarius like sits down on the big lily pad and is like, "Ooh, some bugs." And he like reaches down and like into the water, like grabs out like a handful of like mud and worms, and, like flicks them. He's like, "Ooh." He's just watching the show.
Awesome.
Well, we did that.
You did.
I'm gonna. How big are these things in comparison to that sword that I can see?
You're muted.
I thought I was unmuting myself. They're about half as tall as the sword.
Eli, stand on my shoulders
Like,
and let's pull this sword up.
do you
So
want
there's
me
a-
to stand on your shoulders, or do you want the armor to stand on your armor's shoulders? What are you trying to do?
Yes. Yes, get the armors on the shoulders, and then the top one.
As coordinated as I think we were during our fight, I don't think I'm that good at controlling this thing to imaginarily stand on something's shoulders.
Okay. Then I don't know. That was my only idea. I'll probably have all day.
What are we gonna do with the sword, anyways?
I don't know. But if you can swing a big sword, you should try.
Sorry guys, just a moment. And guys, go ahead and roll a, for this one, if you're trying to pull the sword out like that, roll a dexterity or roll an acrobatics check, and that can be an advantage to make that happen on this moment.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a shot. You've convinced me.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
a nat 1 and a nat 20. I am shooketh to the core.
A +3 and a +2. What?
Oh, I have proficiency and I have a +3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fuck! I told you. He's been giving me strength checks nonstop. I am very acrobatic.
You're like Yoda, flipping around.
Yeah.
All right, apologies, guys. My wife came by and just was saying hi for just a sec. Okay, so with the second natural 20 of ridiculousness, yeah, you guys are able to do it, and it's a little bit strange because you both have to coordinate your own body climbing up Moose's body, which is a long journey, compared to these two relatively same-size armors who are climbing the same distance, but it's a very different distance than Eli versus Moose. But you managed to do it, and the armor, like, it gets on top, and then it begins to, like, continue kind of, like, going like this for a second, and then it's on top, but it's, like, balancing. And you do successfully have two armors stacked on top of each other. And Moose, you're like having to, like, hold the feet and then, like, turn around and get over to the sword. And, and then you're trying to get the sword out of the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do an advantage athletics check on the armor themselves. That is gonna be a dirty 20. So you go over, and the two of them, you guys kind of like work in tandem with this natural 20 on the dexterity check. You guys kind of like push up together, and there's kind of a strange phenomenon where, like, as you're pushing up, there's a little bit of resistance that actually comes down on you. It comes on from Eli's hands into his feet, into Moose's shoulders, and then into the ground. You guys actually like feel a bit of a connection and like have to like push up with it. But eventually, and like essentially Eli and Moose, you're both having to like stand on your tippy toes by the end of it to get the full length of the sword out. And then and it falls over and splashes into the water around you. And the very tip of it is broken off, kind of at a jagged angle. And again, there's a rippling sound in the area around you.
While this Circus Delay show is going on, is there anything else around us that we can see?
Roll a perception check.
16.
All right, as you're watching, this is pretty impressive. You see it kind of ripple out, and there is something that begins to change. You start to see and hear the movement of bodies. Other animated armors, more ethereal than these two, begin to stand up, and they're fighting clearly. Like, and you hear the sounds of battle accompanying them. And you see several different elven designs on these armors. Some are reminiscent of the sea. Some represent the four seasons, like the phoenix that Eli was controlling. Some of them are high elf, elegant. Some are more woodsy, with silvers and greens instead of golds and reds and blues. And you see a collection of elves, and they're fighting giants. And it's not just normal giants, not hill giants, stone giants, the ones that you've heard of before. These things are massively deformed. Hunchbacks, warts, portions of their face arranged to areas around their skull that don't make sense. The slow-moving giants with their bodies contorted and deformed don't seem to be able to move terribly well, but they're still incredibly powerful. Occasionally, one of them opens one of its massive deformed eyes and blasts an elf as well, and the elf itself begins to swell and bulge and contort out of its armor, and its body becomes deformed as well. And it just falls to the ground in agony, holding its head and its arm or limbs twitching. And you see a battle play out between elves and a giant, horrible enemy.
Do you guys remember the vial that was that was in the next to the hornets?
Yeah.
These are the same creatures. Like the same thing. The curse. It's great. It's fantastic. Anyway.
Zarius is like, what are you talking about? What's this? What's this for? What's going on?
Oh, I was out of the game. But yeah, no, we... I forgot what...
Is it all the bodies that we saw originally now fighting? Or is there still someone laying?
Essentially, like, not all of them, but it's like most of them like rose up and started doing things, and then it's almost like seeing something. It's almost like seeing a video rewind, but then like fall into place. Like as like a giant comes down and crushes one of them, it's laid out, and then the ghostly figure, like the armor fades, and the skeleton and the flesh that are revealed from the blow fade into a skeleton in the exact position where it is in the lake.
Kevis walks up
Kind
to
of like you're seeing the last several minutes of this fight, perhaps, or something like that.
Kevis walks up to the water and slaps the top of the water to make it ripple again. You're muted.
You do, and you slap it, and it just waves. It doesn't seem to make an effect at the moment.
Okay. I just watch this out, or Kevis just watches this, studying the elves in particular.
Eli, roll a history check for me.
I say kind of quietly, I'm rooting for the elves.
Smooth.
Eli, you've heard of these things before. So, do you want to fill them in and watch you know?
Yeah, give me a moment. Because I'm trying to remember their names. I remember, I know these creatures. It's a,
The name is Fomor.
Yeah,
Felorian.
Fomor, alright, yeah. Felorian, yeah, Felorians. Yeah, so the Felorians were, were they originally trolls or ogres? I'm trying to remember.
They were originally giants.
They were originally giants?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so, and then they, I think, hold a second. I don't remember much about it. I just remember that there was a curse. I remember there was a curse. I remember that they get this forms, and then they can taint other beings and give them their curse, and then they would also become Felorians. And there was a big downside to them that I can't really remember. That's what I'm trying to remember. Is there was something about like they. I don't remember that part about it.
Yeah, so, just adding a little bit of extra because you rolled pretty well.
Yeah.
There is a curse that it is potentially that they can wear off, but it causes immense psychic pain and deformities of the body.
Right.
But it can be reversed. But in general, it's horrible. And yeah, their curse came about because they they tried to take over the Fey realm and enslave everything else. And the collective efforts of the elves were used to curse the Fomorians. Formerly gorgeous, impeccable physical beings. They were haughty, and not haughty like woo-woo, like haughty, Haughty. Full of themselves. They considered themselves far superior. And the magic of the elves combined into a curse that robbed them of their beauty and their grace. And as Eli kind of talks about the first portion of it, like the battle kind of like shifts into a different scene. You see this all kind of happening. You see the graceful, long-haired Fomorians going to battle and enslaving, and then like you see resistances and like collections of mages all working in tandem, and a blast of kind of chromatic energy of all different flavors, and hitting the oncoming wave of Fomorians as they're heading into another battle. And they all drop to their knees, and like even the ones that didn't look like they were directly hit by the curse seems to ripple through them like a contagious disease, and they all become deformed. They all begin to shape, and eventually they end up looking like that. Like, this is a kind of a follow-up battle after that event happens, because as they become deformed, they retreat, they run away. And year after year, you see a constant fight, or kind of constant fighting between these two. And this is one of those sites. And this is all kind of a ghostly type of image as it plays in the background. Colors muted, a little bit blued out. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is the two pieces of armor that Eli and Moose were mimicking, are they still mimicking? Or have they dropped, or what happened to them?
They're still there. And they have kind of shadows that are fighting in the battle. So it's like their real physical armor is still where it currently is, but then they are also fighting. And one of them, the owl-faced one with gold, is slashed across the stomach, a large swath of their armor getting rent backwards, and their guts begin to bleed out. It falls on the ground and kind of curls up in a ball on the side, and that one lays still. And then kind of at the end of this, you feel a deep rumbling in the earth. And you see from this tree way down here, you see the form of one of these Fomor kind of standing up, large spear in its hand, kind of like gripping the ground. Like the spirit is coming out of the tree itself. It starts to stand up, and there's little spiritual tendrils of tree roots like grasping onto it, and it like moves forward and breaks free and continues to like snap free, and then it stumbles forward.
A guy?
And lets out a bellow. And starts to move faster. And charges towards you. And I need everybody to roll initiative, please. Oops, I just turned everybody invisible.
I didn't mind just roll. even
It's a
click it.
9.
I don't know. 21's pretty good.
I'll take it.
Don't complain.
I'll take it.
Didn't roll. Wait, I rolled the. It took my roll and gave it to Kevin. All right, whatever. That's fine.
Mine just
I
rolled
rolled the
again.
same.
Oh wait,
I
that's you.
rolled the same thing. I rolled the same thing. All right, it's fine.
You might have had Kevis selected or something, and therefore the roll went to him.
Yes, I do have Kevin selected.
So, you guys see this happening, you guys all turn your attention in, and the armors stop mimicking. And they reach down and grab their own weapons. And they begin to charge towards the giants as well. So, starting at the top, Kevis, you are up.
We have to fight armor again.
No.
What?
Armor.
There's
No,
armor.
armor's on our turn. It's on our side.
Oh, it's on our
Running
side?
to the Fomorian. Yes, they're running to the big thing.
It appears that they're on our side.
Okay. Bow and arrow straight at him.
Alright, go ahead and roll your strike.
That's all. Oh, 10.
10. Okay, no joy. You're a little panicked and you shoot. And it goes and hits the shoulder and just passes right through.
Shit.
Okay, anything else?
I'm gonna back up.
Alright. Eli, you are up next.
Okay. Question. Odd. How long has it been since like our last engagement?
Since you did the fight with the mud creatures.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe a couple of hours in total.
Damn. Okay. All right. I'm going to climb off of Moose's shoulders onto the ground. And then
Alright.
I don't. So, is climbing speed halved? Is that? Do I have to use climbing speed to get off of Moose? I don't know.
Just for these purposes, especially because like Moose can assist you, just use 5 feet of your movement speed. That's all.
Okay, that's fine. And then I'll I don't know. I'll move to here then.
Okay.
And yeah, the best thing that I'm gonna cast Hex with a normal spell slot
Okay.
onto the creature,
Sounds good.
and then I'll pull out my crossbow and take a shot at him.
Okay, roll that shot.
Yep.
Okay, 16. That hits. Just kind of lands in the peck of this thing.
And Hex is a 1d6, right? Yeah, 1d6
Ooh, 10 piercing damage. Nice.
plus 1.
11 piercing damage. Nice. Okay, the bolt sticks in there. The bolt, you can even see the head of the shaft go through and the little tiny metal point on it. And you can see it kind of stuck in the flesh of this thing. Doesn't really seem to mind it so much. And like just continues running, and it's a little bit transparent, and you can see it like bobbing inside of itself. All right. This guy's gonna run up and run forward and strike on the Phoenix. He's gonna go for a great. He's got like a spear in his hand, and he brings it down roughly. And that is gonna be a 27. That definitely hits.
Oh no!
Glad that's the armor.
And that is 26 points of piercing damage. That just comes down and cuts right one of the shoulders right off of this thing. Just and like kind of brings it up, and the shield falls to the ground. And it still holds its sword. And then it looks over at the other one, and it its eye kind of glows like an even deeper, creepy blue, and there's a kind of a beam that comes out. And this thing has to make a saving throw. Okay.
We not.
Wow, that is a dirty -4.
What?
A dirty -4 on its save.
Oh my goodness.
And so you see it, like this thing comes out and it starts to shiver, and then it kind of just stops. It kind of looks around and begins to charge again. All right. Next up is the one that just got eye beamed, and it's gonna run forward, and it's gonna go for. It's gonna go for 2 attacks here. Nope, that's a 6. That one does not get any purchase. Just kind of comes off and glides off its ghostly hide, and the other one also just glides off. That is a 6 and a 7 total. That was garbage
What?
rolling on my part.
Huh?
Okay, Zarius is up. Anybody want to play Zarius today? Since I'm running 2 armors.
Not sending Zarius to his death. No thanks.
I can roll. I can roll him.
So I have a quick question about Hex. As I was reading it,
Yeah. Yeah.
As what?
Hex.
Hex?
So it says the target has disability on checks.
So I could choose an ability, right? I could choose like strength, dexterity, and I should probably announce these things. I can choose something like strength, and I'll go ahead and choose strength in that case, Morgan. And if he has to make a strength check, he will have disadvantage on that check while he has Hex on him.
Okay.
Oh, so it's while it's just entirely. It's not a one-time thing.
No, if it has Hex on it, it will always have disadvantage on strength checks now.
Okay. All right, Morgan. I was just curious on that.
No, all good. Okay, so Zarius' turn.
Cool. I don't. Let me just pull up his thing. 1 second. Serious. Okay. Let's go. Yeah. Spear. All right, and then how many key points does he have at this level? He has 2. Okay. So. How far are you? Plenty close enough. All right. Yeah, Zarius is gonna swoop around the backside of I can't move him, but I like to swoop around the backside of the troll.
Okay, give me just a sec. I'll give you permissions. Okay, go for it.
He's gonna swoop on around him into the back, and
All right.
then he is going to take a stab with his new dagger.
Ooh, new dagger. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, not used to using daggers so much. He like swings down. He's like, "That's not right. I don't have the reach." Just kind of slices through the air. A little bit of like purple and gold and pink pixie dust kind of flitter behind the dagger. Very reminiscent of Talabar.
And with that, he's also going to spend a key point on patient defense.
Okay.
I'm
Is he-
sorry, Zarius, if you're watching this. This is how I play monk. I'm sorry. It's probably not how you play monk.
He's like, attack him! Attack him!
Oh,
Is he flanking with one of the armors?
yes he is. So go ahead and roll that one more time.
Okay. I forget they're friendly.
Ooh.
Jeez. +8. Goodness gracious. Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage with that dagger.
Cool.
Okay,
So
for
that's
10 piercing damage. Alright, nice. That's better. Yeah, so this time you kind of carve through. It's like he blitzes by, does a reverse grip, and like shoves it into the shoulder, and like glides down it. Kind of similar to like how somebody like glides down like a sail on a ship. He uses the weight of the dagger to kind of like reverse his direction and wind up facing him. Apologies for the music change. Like I said, my music is still a little bit weird today, because I keep forgetting to put things on repeat. Okay, next up will be Pinky.
Gonna take out my bow and shoot him.
Alright, go for it. #21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage, including sneak attack.
What's... Yeah, okay. Well,
Wow. You did.
Okay, so 12 total. You launch out as well, and this bolt sinks into the hunchback that this thing has and just like stays straight up. Little green fletching coming out of the top. Are your fletchings green, or are they pink, or what?
they're like a green.
Okay.
With like a little bit of pink faded in there.
Yeah, a little green at the base, and then like a little pink as it feathers out to the top.
Yeah.
Pun intended. Take that.
Okay, then, I might just, move myself to here so I'm not in front of
All
the
right.
blast zone and my turn.
Damn. You didn't actually move.
Oh, I didn't?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah,
I see her moved.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, right here now.
She was up here.
Oh, she was down a little bit in front of Moose. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
Moose, you are up, and then it's the other armor.
Oh, how tall is this guy?
He's a big boy.
Yeah. How
I
big?
think he's about 15, 16, 17 feet.
Oh.
Big boy.
Yeah.
Someday somebody on the internet is probably going to be like, whatever, they're like 9 feet tall, stop being a jerk. But I don't know giant heights that well, so that's what I say today. This one's big. Or small.
Average height of a giant is like 13 feet.
Yeah, so this guy's pretty big. A giant, giant height depends. If it's a hill giant, it's X. If it's a storm giant, it's X.
Right.
All right, Moose, what you doing?
Yeah, Moose is gonna fly over to this other little area over here just to spread out a little bit, and I am going to yell Bane and Bane him. Maybe it's a DC 15 charisma. This guy doesn't seem charismatic.
He gets all the ladies. That is a dirty one.
Nice.
So he is banned.
He is Yude.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's it. I say you're going down, ugly guy.
All right, sounds good. Next up is the Phoenix armor. Did I have that backwards last time? Yes, I did. So, oh well. So the Phoenix armor is going to do an attack against this guy. And... okay, that is going to be a dirty 20. That will hit. Oh, come on now. I did that wrong. Let me click the damage button. That will help. Okay, so that is 10 slashing damage that comes down on this guy too. Just cuts down his leg. Everywhere that he starts to bleed, it's like kind of this like white, ethereal, bluish tint glow that just starts running down his body. Okay, and since he only has his one arm, he only gets one attack. Kevis, you are up.
I have a question. On an ability that says special, I can just... So, favorite foe, again. If I say use... Because one plan is use Zephyr Strike. No, so no matter what, like... Especially Pinky would start to feel the wind spin around there a little more. Maybe throw her off course a little bit. I'm going to shoot an arrow, and favorite foe, if I hit, I can add a 1d4. I can just do that. It doesn't use an action or a bonus action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah. Zephyr Strike. This is going to be interesting. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, well, if I hit... There's that. Oh, I'm glad I get advantage. Oh my god. That's a lot better. You're muted.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
4 plus... Or 8, no. Yeah. 8 plus 4.
8 plus the 4. Okay. Yeah.
Plus-
So 12. Alrighty.
Plus 2 for favored foe.
Okay, so 14. This one goes and hits him in his hip, and the ricochet of the shaft like hits the bone and actually like breaks off. The tip kind of pointing out the end, and no feathering coming out the other side. Anything else for your turn?
Nope. That's it.
Okay. Eli, you are up next.
So, last time I've tried this, I was auto failure in this, but I'm gonna start glowing my darker essence and then shoot out an Eldritch Blast at this thing.
Okay, sounds good. The kind of like very similar to the way that the hex looks. It's drippy and black and like dark purple, and a beam of that just. Go ahead and roll that strike. 18 will hit. You guys are rolling real well right now. That'll hit. Go ahead and roll that damage.
First time that ever hit. Let's go. I keep forgetting to add d6. There you go. So it's 12.
Okay, 12. Goes out and kind of like burns some of the skin, and it's just like leaving a little bit of a crater behind from the force damage from that.
And
Okay.
That ends my turn.
All right, next up is going to be the giant, and it's going to swing its spear down one more time to attack the suit of armor it hit before. And that will be a 14. I do not believe that is enough. Nope, these things are tough to hit, so it comes down and it puts its arm up, and it just kind of glides off as everybody's like attacking this thing. It's kind of like off balance, and it throws a hasty swipe down. Oh, and then it's baned, so sorry, I said it wrong. It's moosed. So it actually gets jumped out of the tray. That's an 11 to hit. Super no. So it's gonna do another strike at the armor. And that is a 13 and -4, so that is a 9. It is really not doing well right now. Okay, next up is the armor that was being attacked, so it's gonna go for 2 strikes, or nope, 1 strike because it only has a single arm. And yeah, that'll hit. That's a 17. So doing the damage on that from the Phoenix with 1 arm, and that's going to come in at 10 more damage, cutting this thing right across the middle. All right, and then Zarius' turn. Patient defense.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean to send that. I was just trying to read it. Okay. All right. Yeah, he's just gonna attack with the dagger again.
Okay, go for it. Roll that attack at advantage.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Did anybody else see the die roll on that first one? It like spun around for like a good second and a half. The 21 hits, definitely.
Cool. So that's 9, and then he has, just out of curiosity, as a bonus action, he can go ahead and do an unarmed strike, right?
Yep, that's correct. That's correct.
Cool. So I'm gonna do one of those. I'm gonna do an unarmed strike. Go up. Oof.
There's that advantage, so go ahead and roll it again.
I keep forgetting. Like A rolls. Hey.
That hits.
7 damage.
Okay, for 7 damage. Claws come down and rake this thing. 3 lines of that kind of glowing blue liquid begin to trickle down this thing's back.
Ooh, that looks tasty.
Nice. All right, Pinky, you are up next.
Gonna throw another bolt arrow
Okay, go
at
for it.
this. That'll send any day now. Maybe not.
There.
There it is.
23 definitely hits.
Okay. 9.
Okay, 9.
9.
Okay, this one goes in straight into its thigh. This thing's starting to look a little pin cushiony.
A little bit like a porcupine.
Mm-hmm. Just
Alright,
ask Troy how well porcupines work in D&D.
Real good at first, and then not so well. And then horribly, horribly wrong.
Because of, I'm going to leave it at this and not explain anything. Because of a porcupine, I turned my entire other party naked. Yep, just leaving it there. But that's a true statement.
Glad that's on recording.
That's going on the internet.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, that's the kind of game it was. Is
Yep. All right, Moose, you're up.
I'm gonna fly 5 feet up in the air,
All right.
and then I'm just gonna shoot out a firebolt at it.
Cool. Launch that flame.
Sweet, it looked cool. 15.
15 hits. Armor class of 14.
Oh. Oh.
Aw.
1 damage.
Oh.
All right. It partially sees it coming and like kind of cuts the firebolt in mid-air, and only like a portion of it like singes on. So not much damage.
That's just the start.
All right. Next up is this armor. He's gonna take his attack, and he gets advantage because it's Arius. And that'll be 16. That'll hit. So we'll go ahead and do that damage. And that'll be 9 damage here.
9.
And then he's gonna do his second attack. And at advantage still. Ooh, that comes up to be a 9. No, he slices down and just gets the water. Just
9.
So no go there. 9. Kevis, back up top to you.
Another arrow.
All right, another arrow. Go for it.
Completely misses.
Yeah, no joy on this one. Just does not connect.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
Eli, you are up.
Cool. So after being all hyped up because I actually landed one of these last time, I'm gonna like do a little dance and dab and throw a fucking another Eldritch Blast at him.
Please tell me your Eldritch Blast comes out of your hand as you dab, like at the end of it.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, out of
Travis
my
is
hand,
just
yeah.
shaking his head at
Nice.
Eli.
Roll that attack.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh.
the best ever. Oh shit. It's a 86.
How many old ladies did you help cross the street this week, and how many burning buildings did you go into? You've been building up some serious karma, my dude.
I see that. Yeah, 17 damage.
17 damage, alright. Goes out and blasts him straight in the elbow, and just like his off elbow that's not holding the spear just crumples. And that arm doesn't seem to be working very well anymore.
Get dabbed, son.
Oh no. Just the fact that it critted on a dab, that makes it so much worse. I'm gonna have to tell my 10-year-old about this. She will enjoy it thoroughly.
Oh,
Okay, next up is the Fomorian. He's going to turn around and swing his club at Zarius.
oh
Tired of getting poked from behind.
With Bane.
With Bane. Oh, that is a natural 20.
Oops, didn't mean to hit that button. Yeah.
With Bane?
That's a natural
And
20
it,
for...
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Natural 20
Yeah.
always hits.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So... Oh boy, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, Darius, no!
Okay. All right, so that is. Give me a minute. I'm doing some math.
Oh shit.
That's never good.
That's not a good sound. Never want to hear that. Doing some
Yep.
math.
Okay. So he turns around and the club swings and just completely rocks into Zarius. Zarius is thrown super hard and flung and flies into the tree. He is completely unconscious. Okay, next up is the armor. Next up is his second attack, so he comes back around with the slice and comes down and chops at the armor that he was attacking before. Oh, I've rolled the wrong thing.
Oh my gosh, Darius, no.
Okay, that is a 28 to hit. And where's my damage? There's my damage. Okay, and that is 23 more piercing damage. That just he completely bisects the armor this time. Like some red sparks just curving up this giant spear. And drops it. Okay. Next up, we are over to Zarius, who is in a tree. Pinky, you're up next.
Oh, I don't have to make a death saving throw?
You don't know at this point.
Oh shit.
Oh, absolute jerk!
Okay,
hits, right?
Pinky, go ahead and roll your damage. And as he cuts down this armor and as he cuts down Zarius, you see a little bit of blood coming up through the spear from Zarius and kind of smears across his body, and he seems to, some of that red or some of that blue white liquid just begins to recede back into his own body. Looks a little bit healthier all of a sudden.
This troll?
Yeah. Big guy.
Ogre? 12 damage.
All right. 12 damage. Okay, just Pinky shoots out, gets him right underneath the neck, and he like can't like bend his neck past. He goes and like snaps the shaft inside of himself.
It hurt. Getting that out. Gonna suck.
Moose, you are up.
I am going to dash
Okay.
over here to start with.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was here-ish.
I think you're gonna end up running in his range.
That is
Was
true.
I in-
With that trajectory, you would have provoked attack of opportunity.
Well, I definitely am not gonna provoke an attack. How far wide do I need to come?
You need to.
You've seen the way that this thing has been swinging. He's got a long reach. Roll an intelligence check for me just to kind of gauge distances.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy.
I'm about to get whacked.
Morgan, is this water deep?
No, it's about shin deep right now.
So like I couldn't get through it.
Yeah, you
like
could
my
give.
height.
Yeah, basically like to, Eli's lip line.
Would it be like?
Yeah, you know well enough that you can, like, you got to go about 15 feet wide to avoid this guy. Either vertically
You're right
or around him.
Yeah, I think with my dash I can get to about there, kind of moving in.
Yeah, you were here.
Yeah.
It was here. Yep.
Yeah, so if you control click, you can do that. Yep, you can end up right there. You got it spot on.
Okay. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to angelic step.
Ooh, okay. Describe what that looks like.
Yeah, as I just take a step forward, the air around me kind of gets a little misty looking. But then you also hear this like angelic sound of a choir kind of singing a tone. And then I just disappear and reappear 30 feet forward. Wherever that was.
All right.
Yeah.
So you get up there and you see Zarius is in the tree with he's limped, his head is like bent over a little too far. He's got a deep slash in him. And both of his wings are visibly broken.
Oh,
Laying against the
no.
tree.
That's it for my turn.
Oh.
Okay. Next up is the other armor. It's just gonna keep chopping at this thing's legs. And that gets a natural 20. Nope, don't do that one. So do critical damage. Okay, so that'll come in at 13 points of slashing damage. And then he's gonna go for another strike. Okay, this one no go. Kind of goes wide and he tries to like stab it into the toe of this thing and it moves and just sinks into the mud. Okay, Kevis, back up to you.
Okay. Zephyr Strike again. So again, wind picks up, and I am going to full movement. So with Zephyr Strike, I get an additional 30 feet, and then I already have base 30, and I'm gonna dash. That's 100 feet of movement straight to Zarius.
Right. Okay. Go for it. He will get an attack of opportunity.
Not with Zephyr Strike.
Oh, that's right. So it's, you see Kevis like not even really sinking into the water at all. Just like mostly running on top of the surface. Just
He
the
Naruto
water,
runs.
just the water behind him just blasting. Arms backwards.
Just full fucking.
You freaking Naruto run.
What can I see from under the tree?
You see kind of up through a few branches, Zarius is sitting there kind of like on a large branch, like like his back against the wall, head leaning off to the side, blood dripping out of his beak. And you do see a broken wing and he is completely still.
Do I see Bane?
Yeah, you see him just right a little bit of as you like skidding to a stop so you don't crash into the tree.
Right.
You see him like right up there, kind of on a very bright light, and a few delicate feathers kind of fall.
I look up at Bane, like, Bane, like, absolutely terrified right now. That's my turn.
Trying to get there.
That's it.
Eli.
I want to yell at this thing as I'm like building up energy. I just want to yell, "Hey, ask butt!" And I hit him with an Eldritch Blast.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Give me a sec. Gosh, what is that reference? I want to say Guardians of the Galaxy, but I know it's not true.
No, that is Supernatural. The angel
Yes.
right before he throws
Yes.
the book.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Nice. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Cool.
That is a pretty
Ooh.
spicy attack.
Yeah, go for it. Roll that a damage.
6.
Okay, 7. That moment where your D6 rolls better than your D10. Okay. Alright, that's it. Next up is this guy, big guy. He's gonna reach down and clobber that armor. And I'm including the formula this time. So it will automatically include the Bane. That is a 14. That is not good enough. He's going to do a second strike. So just splashes in the water as the golden armor dashes to the side. Next one is a 24 to hit, and that will certainly do it. Okay, so he's going to roll damage. That is 19 piercing damage. And he essentially rends this thing from like hip to shoulder. It kind of like falls in the ground, still moving, like kind of like trying to get up, like trying to balance on one leg, but it is down pretty hard. And then it begins to move. Right about to there. And the armor takes an attack of opportunity against it at disadvantage. Oops. Okay, so that's not gonna hit. I'm gonna do it one more time because I forgot the disadvantage part. So that's a 10. The next one is better, so the 10 sticks. So just it like kind of weakly like flails out and doesn't quite strike it.
That's the one that's not prone, Morgan.
Yeah. Okay. And then Pinky, we are over to you.
I want to go for a kneecap. An arrow to the knee.
Okay, I will consider if you want to do a called target like that. I will consider it a higher armor class.
That is fine with me. We'll
Yep.
see if this.
Okay, what's your range on your weapon?
Let me see how
I
far.
think it's 80 feet.
It's 80 feet.
Okay, yeah, you're totally fine still.
Watch. Unfreaking believable. It was a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 wins, even against the increased DC. So yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
And I don't have sneak attack anymore because he are out of my range. Oh, that's beautiful. That's 5.
Okay. 5. Damage goes out. Hits him directly in the kneecap, just like you wanted. But doesn't really seem to slow him down. Okay, Moose. You are up.
I'll move
Oh,
up.
Pinky, yeah, anything else?
Just a bit. Yeah, I'll just move up a bit. That'll be it.
Okay.
Gosh.
Moose. Your friend is looking pretty broken in a tree.
Yeah, I'm not all the way there, but I can definitely feel this big monster closing down from behind me. So before I even get there, I'm just gonna speak a healing word at Zarius and hopefully see him get healed here. For 6.
6. Okay, you feel the magic reach out of your hand and go and reach his body. And it sort of dives in, searching for what to heal. And you lose track of it. Can't tell.
No. Oh no.
I'm gonna move 10 feet forward, and I'm gonna put a hand on him, and I'm gonna just shake him just a little bit and say, Zarius, come back, and I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. And you reach out and you can tell when something is in space where, you know, this works and whatnot. You reach out and touch him, and it's kind of like searching for a heartbeat magically. And the sense of life is still there, but very, very, very faint. Like what would normally be a sand castle is limited to a few grains of sand at the moment. You spend your turn focusing on those ones and trying to put a protective magical bubble around them. Just sitting there, kneeling on the branch, eyes closed, holding your friend. Okay. Next up is the armor. It's gonna get up at half speed, but it only has one leg, so it's got less speed than normal. So it just like gets up on one leg, the right one, and just like hops, reaches down and grabs a spear from the ground around it and just chucks a spear at this Fomorian. Okay, that is a 21. And so we'll do damage there. Okay, and that is 5 to hit. Gets into this thing's back, and it like staggers forward, starting to move real slow, starting to look real hurt. It's got cuts and bruises and projectiles littered all over it, and it keeps going. He shall be black it all. Screaming out something in giant.
Oh, do I? I think I speak.
No.
No, I don't. It's the other one. Never mind.
Speak the other one.
Yeah. It's a different thing.
The other G.
Yep.
Okay. Back up to the top. See Kevis.
How bad is he looking?
Xerius?
No. Giant.
He's looking pretty bad, but I mean that's a big body. It's still got a lot of strength to it.
I hate this. Okay. I sometimes hate Kevis very much. Seeing his friend, seeing Xerius and the panic is just rushing him and just adrenaline. He's running straight at this giant with Zephyr Strike still on, pulling both of his swords out, taking a hit.
All right, go for it. Roll your strike advantage. Get your character up there.
$22.
22 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Damage is 9. Oh, why did it do longbow? Not right.
Yeah, go ahead and.
That's what it should have
re-roll
been.
that.
7. 4.
Okay, 7. And roll your second strike.
23.
23 hits. And roll that damage.
5.
For 5. Okay. Describe your kill.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
So just in, Moose would probably say it, just in Kevis's kind of facial where he's been pretty just not calm, but just aware of everything, you see his mood absolutely shift and just pure anger washes over his face as he pulls both swords out, rushes up, takes a swipe across the stomach of the first one, and as he drops down, he's "You ugly son of a bitch," and cuts the throat of it and just stands there as he's bleeding out. Just pure rage,
Alright.
seeing red.
You see it drop the spear. Its arm that is not shattered at the elbow reaches up and like tries to like close the blood from falling through. And it like looks at you and it falls to the ground, and like the whole time, like a chameleon eye, the eye tracks you. Even as it falls face down in the mud, the eye is still staring up at you and it lays motionless.
I stab the eye.
And it, yeah.
As soon as it falls, stabs it right in the eye and twists.
Yeah, you see a nervous system jerk, and it finally settles. And the spirit of this creature begins to fade away.
oh my gosh.
Kevis just stands there over it, motionless.
All right, Eli, you are up.
We're still in initiative order? Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am, I'm gonna dash. And then, that doesn't get me super far. Is
the water difficult terrain?
I was about to ask that, is that difficult terrain for me?
For Eli, yes, because of the keys and the height, but not for anybody else.
Yeah, so, that will get me here, right there. That's the best I can do. I don't have anything else I can do on my turn.
Okay. The armor, one-footed, like picks up a sword and like hops over and hops over and hops over. It just begins to hack away at the spirit as it's starting to disappear. Just just trying to cut it into smaller and smaller pieces. Pinky, your turn.
Yep, gonna use my bonus action to dash all the way here. Woo. Flying 5 feet up already, so.
You can bonus action dash and dash if you want to.
I can?
Yep.
Well, making the rest of my way over.
Okay. You rush over, going as fast as you can. Your little trail of pink sparkles is more like a beam behind you. You open up your wings and stop before you yourself run into some of the branches, and you see Moose head forward, bowed over Zarius. Just a look of deep concentration and
Is he alive?
a little bit of pain. Moose, as you're up next, and as you are sitting there, trying to heal your friend and bring him back from the very edge of death, I'd like you to roll a religion check for me.
I say, come to the light, and I cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
That's
And I got a 15.
Okay, including the guidance.
plus your
Plus 3. So
Okay, so
18.
18. You are sitting there focusing on this, and there is nothing else. The sounds of the battle have completely fallen away. There is no sound at all. And all you have is blackness and this kind of mental image of like a slight golden bubble against a pit of blackness, and these 3 yellow, bright canary yellow grains of sand. You're just focusing there. And you pull it a little bit like you're summoning it. You pull it away from the point of the darkness where you feel like there is no return. You yank it back a little bit. And Moose, you don't even register that your friends are nearby. Roll another check, please. And you can give yourself guidance on that too.
That's a nat.
Do you have an inspiration point?
I do. Be a good time to use it.
Be a
Certainly
really
would be.
good time to use it.
7 plus something. 2, 9.
Okay, 9. You feel yourself begin to slip. And what the progress that you have made feels like it falls backwards a little bit. You kind of grab it. Make one more check for me.
Come on, Moose, you can do it.
And guidance can be applied to all of this. as you're doing this and trying to concentrate, you've had a hand for healing, but you've always used it in a very nonchalant manner. And this is the first time you're trying anything new, anything that's not well within your reach already. And you are desperately trying to hold on to your friend. And just the lack of practice, the lack of training in this area, just begin to... It's like you're holding your hands as tightly as you can, and you see one grain of sand slip out.
Eli, I suck at this. Get over here.
And another
Tried.
one. And
Yeah, while he was making those checks, would Eli have been running his ass over here?
you guys are... Nothing is happening. This is essentially like a stopped time moment.
Oh my goodness.
You're trying so hard to hold on to them and they just keep slipping out. And the last one falls out and despair hits you. You see the 4 pieces of sand tumbling towards this darkened void. And you're crushed. This feeling of you weren't able to save your friend begins to sit in. And your vision and like your mental picture of yourself begins to darken.
It's the use of these powers. They can't do anything.
As the sands begin to slowly tumble and fall down deeper and deeper into this hole. You feel a hand on your back. It's warm and gentle. There's some light to it. There's some familiarity to the light. And the sands freeze in place. And they kind of settle down like they've been cradled. They pull back until they're within your grasp. Your mental image of yourself sitting there in that dark space, and you have them. And you hear a voice. Let me show you. It's like this. And you see a hand of a very indescript white hand that is glowing with a yellow edge to it. It says, you touch it and you feel this warmth course through you, and you feel like oxygen is being breathed into you after almost drowned. Your body lightens up. There's tension in your shoulders from your wings and your arms just begins to evaporate. It says, now concentrate. Breathe in. Believe in yourself. And pull. Make a check one more time at advantage.
Seven plus
Do you have guidance?
guidance.
Yep.
Plus 4. 11.
11. Okay, because of the aid you are getting right now, I set the DC at 8.
Is any of this a saving throw?
No.
It's not its ability check.
Yeah, it's ability check. You're essentially trying to tap into a side of yourself. You do as he's instructed. It's new to you. You're uncomfortable What you do, you breathe in, and suddenly it's like there's this light fire in your own chest. You breathe in, and it climbs up your body through your throat. The kind of naturally red tinted skin that you have begins to glow. And then it's near your mouth, and you breathe it out. And the pieces of sand are bathed in this shower of light that has come out of your body. And the 4 pieces of sand kind of grow in size, begin to multiply. And then when there's enough of them, they kind of swirl together and form a tiny little egg. Blue spots, kind of a blackened bottom, and a yellow crown. And you kind of hold it in your hand, and then you feel that he's okay. You don't know where he is, or you don't know what this means necessarily, but you do know that it means that he's okay. You kind of pull back out of yourself, and the rest of your team at this point is around you. They've climbed up the tree, they're looking at you. And you look back up at Zarius, and the blood has stopped running out of his beak. His head is no longer tilted too far to one side. His wings are still broken. But he begins to have a very shallow breath to him.
Stay with us, Zarius. Stay with us.
You guys hear a clinking metal sound. Let me see. And and you guys are all over here and up in the tree. And you see the armor just hopping, boink, boink, boink. And it's dragging behind it the spear that the Fomorian was using. And instead of being ethereal, it looks very solid and real. It kind of like whips it around the front, grabs it at a good spot, and just kind of like holds it up. And it shrinks in size down to a reasonable size that somebody could wield. Kind of like shakes it at you.
I guess Pinky will go down and grab it.
Okay.
Thing's probably massive compared to her.
Pinky, this might be a little bit big for you. I mean, you can manage it, but
Yeah. This is...
Maybe for if Zarius is feeling better again.
Yeah.
this is essentially what it looks like. You see a little, a fuller inside of the tip of the spear that seems to be very different from a fuller, which is just normally used to lighten the blade. This one seems to be designed to gather and pool blood. And then there are also kind of some channels that run down it, and in the grip, it is also covered in blood. But it looks like it's blood that's soaked through rather than like splashed on top.
I'm gonna give this to the moose and be like, you give this to him.
I'll hold it for him and see if he wakes up here. We almost lost him. I needed some help there. I'm still not sure where that help came from. It might have been one of my dad's. I don't know. Darius, are you there?
Just breathing in and out gently. Not much else.
I think we should go back to that hut.
I would like to. I don't know where it's at. Right, it's with the new thing. I'm trying to find it. But I would like to just cast a. Oh, there it is. Healing light on him.
Okay. You can use both of your
I'm
charges
just
here
gonna-
if you want to.
Just gonna use the one.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you heal him, and some of the the laceration that's coming up from his kind of like bottom left rib cage up to his top right clavicle begins to seal a little bit. There's some pink rawness to where it was, where there's no feathers at the moment. His breathing eases a little bit more. Kind of like weakly opens his eyes. Oh, hey guys. What's up? Did we win?
Yeah, you beat him.
Good.
Good work, Darius. You got this spear from him. And I hand him the spear.
I kind of looks at it, he's like, oh, that looks cool. I'll use that later. He falls asleep. And that's where we will end.